Hey guys, Andrew Beckford here with Motorworld Hype, and as you might have been able to tell from the title of this video, this is going to be a little bit different than the things I usually post to the Motorworld Hype YouTube channel. With that, I want to give off a few disclaimers. The first disclaimer, as I mentioned before, this video is going to be a lot different than what I usually put up on the channel, and it involves drama. So if drama is not your thing, I mean, I don't want it to be about drama, but that's kind of the sense of this. If that's something that's really not appealing to you, then this would be your time to bail out. Second disclaimer is in the situation I'm going to talk about, there are three real people involved. And I'm going to go over actual statements from two of those three people. And I'll also explain why I do not have any statements from the third person. The third disclaimer is that there will be racially offensive subject matter in this video. I'm going to do the best I can to not use any actual racial slurs or curse words, but yeah, I guess this is a trigger warning for anyone who is easily upset by racially offensive subject matter. And the last disclaimer is that occasionally in this video I will be expressing my personal opinion, and when I do that, I will put up an opinion alert so you can easily separate my take from the actual facts of the matter. All right, with all of that being said, let's just go ahead and get into it. So, what happened? Well, a while ago, I was on Instagram and I kept seeing several memes pop up that showed sets of forged wheels along with images of like the Ku Klux Klan and Donald Trump. After digging into it further, I figured out that it was all stemming from a Facebook post made by a guy named Dominic Lebron. Dominic posted screenshots of Instagram messages that he says he received from the Instagram account at Watercooled Ind, which is the Instagram account for Watercooled Industries, an aftermarket wheel company that's based in Holland, Michigan. According to Dominic, the messages sent to him from this account were written by Chris Bosgraff, who's the CEO and owner of Watercooled Industries. Dominic believes the messages were sent to him because Chris was angry about texts that Dominic sent to Brittany Paris, who is Chris's girlfriend. At first, the alleged message from Chris contained a few threats, but then the message says, quote, effing N-word, I'ma put you in the dirt. So you have a racial slur combined with a death threat. Then the message goes on to brag about the author of the message's car, claiming that the exhaust on his Audi S4 costs more than Dominic's entire car, which is kind of weird. The message then goes back to the racial remarks, calling Dominic a stupid effing N-word and telling him to go effing pick my cotton, unquote. The message then accuses Dominic of being on welfare and getting unemployment checks. After that, the message alludes that Brittany would rather commit suicide than sleep with Dominic, and then he ends the rant with, quote, the only thing you can F is the government and myself, a taxpayer, for doing effing nothing and being a lazy N-word. Say goodbye to Obama and all the people that helped your low life. No more free handouts. Might actually have to do something with your life. Oh no, if you want a job, let me know. I got mad cotton out back that has to be picked. Unquote. Let me just say, wow. Obviously, I was pretty shocked when I saw this, and I kind of figured that this might be fake. So I wanted to look into it further, and I reached out to Dominic to confirm with him if this actually happened. So I messaged him on Facebook, and he did confirm to me that this really did happen to him. So then I want to try to get Chris's side of the story, give him the benefit of the doubt, and give him the chance to confirm or deny actually sending these messages. However, when I went to the official Watercooled Industries website to try to reach out, I quickly realized that their business was pretty much cut off from all forms of electronic communication. There was no phone number or email listed. The Instagram account linked to by the website, which is also the same one that Dominic received the messages from, has been taken down. The Facebook page that the company leaks to has also been taken down. And the link to their Twitter account just goes back to the website's homepage. I then discovered that Brittany, Chris's girlfriend, made a statement to the local newspaper called the Holland Sentinel and defended Chris, which somewhat confirms Chris saying what he did. But her statement was, quote, you guys do not know Chris on a personal level. He started this business with nothing. The only concern here is the type of stuff he said and the type of person this makes him. Obviously, I'm very upset and hurt of what he said to Dominic Lebron. Dom is a great work friend, and that is strictly it. In a statement to the same paper, Dominic stated, quote, "Me and his girlfriend are friends and we work together, and that's all it was. We texted about shifts and other things, and I guess he didn't like it and randomly sent me the message." Again, just wow. So here's my first kind of opinion alert as I break down my take on this whole thing. First, in a general sense, let's look at what Chris allegedly did. He sent angry threats to a person he felt was sending inappropriate texts to his girlfriend. Generally speaking, that is a pretty relatable thing to do. Not okay at all, but relatable. However, since there are no screenshots or public record of the texts that were exchanged between Dominic and Brittany, it's hard to say just how far the text went. In his statement to the Holland Sentinel, Dominic says that he and Brittany only texted about work, though when he spoke to Jalopnik, he said the texts were quote unquote kind of flirty. That's obviously a subjective thing though, so again, it's hard to determine just how inappropriate, if at all, these texts got. Though it was enough to allegedly prompt Chris or someone using Chris's company's Instagram account to send these messages to Dominic. Despite all of that, it's pretty obvious that no matter how you slice it, the messages were a massive overreaction and not okay at all. And the one thing that is clear is that whoever did send Dominic these messages is a racist jerk, and furthermore, just isn't that great at sending angry messages. I mean, kicking things off with how much better your car is reeks of high school D-bag syndrome. Also, the message repeatedly tries to paint Dominic as a poor person with no job, leaving off government assistance, yet Dominic only knows Brittany because they work together. I mean, come on, bro. Like, if you're gonna have an emotional breakdown and fly off the rails, then at least try to make sense. There might be people who want to victim blame and say that it's Brittany's fault or Dominic's fault for texting each other in the first place, but that's not really the case here. The issue is about the really messed up racist things that were said to Dominic from a company's Instagram account. Also, as I said before, the whole thing was pretty shocking to me. I mean, in 20 years of being a fan and being a part of the quote unquote tuner community, I've never seen something like this from a legitimate aftermarket company since the whole Motorex debacle. And if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say Motorex debacle, go ahead and Google it. On a personal note, for those of you who don't know, I am an African American man, and being a part of this scene for a while has been kind of weird for me at times because in the earlier days, I didn't see a lot of racial diversity in the scene. That has obviously changed a lot now, but even today I can count the amount of African American automotive journalists I've met on one hand. And whenever I do meet one, there's always this unspoken or sometimes spoken moment in which me and this person will acknowledge to each other that, it's good to see you because there aren't many of us in this industry or in this scene. Having said that, needless to say, the situation kind of hit home for me in a way, and that's why I felt the need to make this video. Not only to talk about what happened, but to make it known that none of what was said to Dominic was okay, and we need to keep racism out of car culture. It is technically true at this moment that it can't be proven that Chris Bosgraf actually wrote and sent those messages unless he personally confesses to it, though it is a fact that someone from his company did. So we need to make it known to Chris that it was totally unacceptable and he needs to take action to make things right by either apologizing if he was the one who did this or if he wasn't the one, finding out who did and then firing that person from his company. There's a lot of reasons that a particular ethnic group may not be as deeply involved in car culture, but we definitely don't want racism to be one of those reasons. We don't want the world at large to think that car culture is okay with bigots, because we're not. With that being said, I want to end this video with a challenge to all of you watching. If you are a part of the car culture and experience or witness racism, bigotry, sexism, or any kind of discrimination against anyone, call it out and make it known that real car people do not and will not tolerate this kind of crap in our culture. And I want you guys to start this challenge now. If you've ever been discriminated against in the car culture because of your race, gender, sexual orientation, religious beliefs, talk about it in the comments below. Tell your story. Because if you call out the people who discriminated against you, it'll help keep them out of our culture. We do not want racism in the car culture. We do not want bigotry in the car culture. We do not want sexism in the car culture. We do not want discrimination in the car culture. Anyway, that's me done with this video. I just wanted to get this off my chest and kind of put this out there, not just to expose some drama that's going on, but to kind of bring attention to the fact that there is racism in this industry and that we need to be aware of it so that we can snuff it out and not let it grow. Hopefully, I won't have to make a video like this again. For those who stuck with me this long, I want to thank you for watching, and I truly, truly hope that no one out there watching this video ever has to go through what Dominic went through.